1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Here is the news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by J. Yogaraj. First, the headlines. The Ministry of Health says the only scientific method to face the current pandemic is to study and properly manage the corona situation. The WHO praises the government vaccination program. The governor of the central bank says that the bank is providing full strength to carry out all work without any obstacles. E-commerce network for entrepreneurs. U.S. city of New Orleans loses power as storm strikes. And those are the headlines. The COVID vaccination program is being conducted in several places in the island. Priority will be given for the Grama Seva division, which do not get sufficient stock of vaccines. Deputy Health Services Director General, Specialist Dr. Hemant Herath, said that the scientific method should be followed at this moment and study the risk and manage it properly. A special committee has been appointed to provide a report with recommendations to control the pandemic while identifying the risk. The World Health Organization is providing another assistance for the country's vaccination program. Accordingly, 2 million slingers were donated. The WHO says that Sri Lanka's vaccination program is being conducted in a meaningful manner. Governor of the Central Bank, Professor W.D. Lakshman, says that the COVID third wave is now prevailing in the country is a very difficult task to control. He said the country was successfully eradicated the first global COVID wave, and the current situation of COVID has been affected the country's economy as well as the humanity in the country. Many economic issues cropped up in the first quarter of the year and is still existing in the country. The main challenge of it has been identified by the bank. The main thing is to protect the livelihood of the people. Many programs have been initiated to protect the small and medium-scale entrepreneurs. The bank is providing its utmost support to the government to carry out all activities. Although the country's income is declined, the central bank has taken measures to provide financial assistance to the entrepreneurs to bring up the economy. This news comes to you from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Chairman of the National Entrepreneurs Development Authority, Sunil Jayaratne, says the fullest support will be given to the government's move to encourage export sector in the country. E-commercial system will be utilized for the encouragement of the local entrepreneurs. It is expected to take the local products internationally through online. District Secretary of Puttalam, K.G. Vijayasiri, says that there are 79,000 families to be reached or receive 2,000 rupees allowance, whose daily income is lost due to the quarantine curfew in the Puttalam district. He further said that present payment has been made to 21,000 families. The Treasury has given or allocated 90 million rupees for this purpose. The 2,000 rupees allowance were given to 20,000 families in the Anuradhapura district. The government has provided more than 100 million rupees to fulfill this task. That's local news.
The main news story is brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
It has been reported that the salary anomalies issue of teachers and principals was discussed in detail at today's cabinet meeting. The proposal of the ministry subcommittee in this regard was submitted to the cabinet, and several trade unions have agreed on the proposals made by the subcommittee. And that came to you in top news.
The main news story was brought to you by Siddhalepa Vedamahatmya.
Moving on to Washlight, Hambantota District Development Committee has decided to provide alternative lands for the farmer families who were settled in lands traditionally which were taken over by the government on behalf of the Bundala Sanctuary. The extent of this sanctuary is 3,339 hectares of land. Opportunities have been given to the farmers to carry out their cultivation activities temporarily without causing any harm to the wild animals in the area. And that was Washlight. And Moving on to world news, headlines first. U.S. city of New Orleans loses power as storm strikes. UN says North Korea appears to restart nuclear reactor. First surges in COVID-19 infections led to shortage of hospital beds and staff. Now it's oxygen in America. And those are the headlines of the world news. Moving on to the stories in detail, the U.S. city of New Orleans has lost power, with only generators working as Hurricane Ida batters Louisiana. The storm brought 150 miles per hour winds when it made landfall, and those people who did not flee have been advised to shelter in place. One person was killed when a tree fell on their home in Louisiana region. Ida will test the New Orleans flood defenses, strengthened after Hurricane Katrina killed 1,800 people in 2005. North Korea appears to have restarted its Yongbyon nuclear reactor, the UN Atomic Agency has said in a report. Plutonium, which is used for nuclear weapons, is believed to be produced at the reactor's complex. The International Atomic Energy Agency was expelled by Pyongyang in 2009, but relies on satellite imagery to carry out assessments. The watchdog said the reactor has been discharging cooling water since July, suggesting it is operational. Hospitals in parts of the south are running out of oxygen supply as COVID-19 cases and hospitalization continue soaring, driven by the sweats of people who remain unvaccinated and a dangerous coronavirus variant that has infected millions of Americans. Several hospitals in Florida, South Carolina, Texas, and Louisiana are struggling with oxygen scarcity. Some are at risk of having to use their reserve supply or risk running out of oxygen imminently, according to state health officials and hospital consultants. And that was World News.
Development News is brought to you by Quality Matters Than Price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
The development and carpeting of Imbul-Pitia Road, Ingruoya New Village Road and Holgama Road is being carried out under the project of 100,000 kilometers road development process. Minister Mahinda Ananda said that all roads in Kandy will also be developed within the next few years. And that was development news.
Development News was brought to you by Quality Matters Than Price. So as an engineer, I recommend Melba RB500. It's made with virgin billets using the latest technology. Melba RB500, number one in Sri Lanka. Truly Sri Lankan.
In sports, Sri Lanka's Dinesh Priyantha Herath has set a new world record in the men's javelin throw F46 event at the Tokyo 2020 Paralympics. Dinesh Priyantha set the new world record, clearing a distance of 67.79 meters to win the gold medal in the men's javelin throw F46 final. He becomes the first ever Sri Lankan to win a gold medal at the Paralympics.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply. Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank. The safest place for your money.
Recording its highest ever profit for a period of 6 months with a profit before tax of 13.9 billion rupees and a profit after tax 11 billion rupees, National Savings Bank shows strength and financial resilience in performance amidst the heightened uncertainty due to COVID-19 pandemic, which has triggered a wide range of shocks on the banking sector and the economy of the country.
Business News. Sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Contributory deposit of 1,000 rupees from NSB when your child enters grade 1. Open a Hapan Children's Service account for your kid today. Higher interest. Conditions apply.
The China International Trade Exhibition for this year will be held in Beijing from the 2nd of next month. During the exhibition period, 5 rounds of discussions and 193 promotional activities will be conducted. And that was economic news.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
Well, in the weather report, the Met Department says showers will occur at times in Sabragamur and central provinces. Several spells of showers will occur in western and northwestern provinces and in Galle and Mathura districts. Mainly fair weather will prevail elsewhere.
Weather report was sponsored by
Dialogue, in partnership with the Ministry of Education, introduces Nanasa, a trilingual educational mobile app with video-based lessons for grade 1 to A-levels. Now your child can study with ease on your mobile with no subscription fee.
To conclude this afternoon news bulletin, let's look at the main points once again. The Ministry of Health says the only scientific method to face the current pandemic is to study and properly manage the corona situation. The WHO praises the government vaccination program. The governor of the central bank says that the bank is providing full support to carry out all work without any obstacles. E-commercial network for entrepreneurs. The U.S. city of New Orleans loses power as storm strikes. And with that, we conclude this afternoon news bulletin of Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation.